Yeah, what can you tell us about how prepared the team is and some of what you've learned about them since you took over?
Yeah, I mean, I came in with a lot of knowledge about them because I studied what they did last season because they had such a good season the previous one. But it's just about taking the guys that have returned and then integrating them with the new guys. We've had a very good preseason, one of the best that I've ever had, with minimal injuries, only to one player who will be back in about 2 weeks. So we feel we're really prepared. Now it's just a matter of getting match fit and into the rhythm of the regular season.
Who are some of the players that that have stood out to you?
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a new player, Faisal, that we got this season. Frank Duroma has always been a great asset onto this team. Owen O'Malley has a lot to offer to this team as well. Travion as well, and then the new goalkeeper Lars as well, who's training part-time with the first team as well. So a lot of I can name almost the whole team because we've just been really consistent in what we've been doing this preseason. So I'm just excited exactly how they approach on against Austin on Friday.
Well, to dig into two of those players, Vitace, is that how you say his name?
Faisal?
Faisal, okay.
Yes.
He comes from not just St. Louis City, but he has a history in England as well.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot of experience that you don't necessarily see at this level.
100%. And he brings that experience every single day. The way he talks, he's the team captain now. In the video analysis rooms, in the locker room, he's just an extension of my voice, which is really, really good to have. And the players like him too. The players like him, which is it's extremely important because that trust in between them is there. So when he directs on the field, he does the job for me when I don't have to do it. So it's fantastic. He's been fantastic.
And then one of his teammates at St. Louis last year, Owen, he was a top draft, like a high draft pick just last year. Clearly a talented player. What can you tell us about him?
Very talented player, extremely high IQ. He's still getting his 90-minute fitness. He's not quite there yet, but he's going to feature on Friday, and everybody will see how good of a player this kid is. He's amazing.
And it sounds like he's transitioned. He was more of a wide midfielder in college, but it sounds like he might be like a wingback for you guys.
He will play multiple roles because he's just so intelligent. So whether we have him as a fullback, a wingback, or even up front, he knows how to do his job. Both right and left foot is precise. So it gives us the room to be a little bit more diverse in the way I approach the game according to what our principles and the opponents as well.
In order for you to get a result, what do you need from the team?
Just one thing that we'll be talking about today is being able to control our inner strength, which is not really an easy thing to bring out a lot of the times. So we use the analogy of Harry Potter and Voldemort, and how Harry Potter cannot be the hero if he doesn't accept the Voldemort in him. And it's about controlling that ability, and that's exactly what we've been doing, because we know the game on Friday is going to be a tough one. We're playing against the reigning champions. So we've brought it out onto the training pitch in a composed manner, and once we control that part onto the field, we're going to be unstoppable.
H, how would you just define or describe a successful season for Tacoma?
Well, our objective is to win the whole cup, but primarily, and the priority is for my players to get a chance onto this field with the first team and make it to the first team. That will define whether or not we're doing a good job. But we want to do that in a winning culture. We want to win. Because when players win, they get confident within themselves, and then we see the extent of their ability. So that's what we want to do.
In the discussion with the players of, being unselfish, how much is it? Are you telling them about making the runs that are creating space for the other players?
Yeah, that's part of our microcycle. We delve into every single player relationship everywhere on the field. So when they get the balls, we've created a game model and principles that gives them the freedom to be themselves, but within the game model and principles. So it's not that they are out there in the wilderness. They're not. They understand what things needs to happen in certain areas of the ball, and then based on the decisions that they get to make is where they get the freedom in order to express themselves.
There's a big amount of players that have been practicing with the first team as well.
Yeah.
Do you get data from either Freddie, Juarez, or Brian?
Of course. We have those internal conversations on a daily basis. We know exactly who's going to go train with the first team, exactly what load they're going to be training, and exactly what they're going to be training. There's a lot of moments where they start training with us, then they go to first team for certain exercise, and then they come back with us, vice versa. The important thing is those top players that are on that hybrid stage of making it to the first team, that we put a lot of focus, and players are the training are surrounded by their outcomes and the things that we need them to do in order for them to progress into the next level.
One of those players that's gotten a fair amount of training with the first team was Sander Bernal. He's also one of the youngest players on your roster. What have you seen from him, and what can you tell us about his potential?
Yeah, no, I mean, the fact that he spent preseason with the first team says everything. He's the youngest player. That he can play an academy game, a second team game, and potentially also a first team game because he's that good. He's off with the national team right now, so he won't feature on Friday. But he's the brilliance of Snyder is the fact that he's so mature at a young age, and that's why he can step onto a second team field, he can step onto the first team field, and it's as if nothing changes. Or when he plays for the academy, he's still that same person, which is fantastic. It's an indication of how well he's been raised, really.
Mitch, a few minutes ago you mentioned the goalkeeper, Lars. Spent last year with Val, our local USL2 team. I'm wondering if you spend any time at all, or you will spend any time at all, paying attention to the many USL2 teams around, or you leave that to the scouting department?
I mean, I live close to Ballard, so I cannot ignore them. And the fact that they have such a good fan base as well. So yes, I'm going to be at those games when I can, because I want to see local talent. This area of Seattle, Tacoma, Federal Way has produced so many good players. It would be ignorant of me not to go see out the local talent. Even the small clubs around us like Crossfire and Seattle U. It's important for us to have eyes on those teams just to see exactly what's coming out of this local area, because they've produced so many good players over the years, and we want those players to come and represent us and represent the city.
So being then close to Ballard, will you say that you would go there both as a scouting and as a fan, being Ballard?
Well, if they send me an invite, definitely I'll be there. But yeah, no, of course. I mean, I live around the area, so I'll definitely be cheering them on, definitely. But also scouting at the same time.
Yeah.